how I'm trying to keep diet culture out of my house with my children, because I grew up with toxic diet culture. I grew up with being encouraged to work out as a child and can't eat this, can't eat that. And it's just a lot on a child, and I inevitably create disordered eating. With my children, I am going backwards. We are flipping the script and we are cutting out all toxic diet culture in our home, and I'm ready to talk about it. I'm ready to share. I have a 4-year-old, a 1.5-year-old almost, and I will be having a newborn. I want to talk about this. It's super near dear to my heart because I grew up in a toxic diet culture, as we all did. Biggest Loser was on the TV. All of these things were implemented. Weight Watchers was super big. It's super diet culture that we all thought we had to do back in the day. We didn't actually have to do. Let's deep dive and go through my experience and what I'm doing differently with my children to break the curse of toxic diet culture. If you don't know who I am, hi, my name's Haley. This is my channel, Life of Haley. Again, I'm a mother of 3 almost, and I have been on diets my entire life. And I actually just now started healing my relationship with food about 2 years ago. We've been healing and we've been changing, and I'm excited for my journey, but I'm also excited to keep that toxic diet culture out of our lives because we don't need it. It's absolutely unnecessary, and I am trying to make sure my children have a healthy relationship with food, nutrition, everything. Being a mom, of course, and living in an era where everything is thrown at you about being in this body or a specific image for you to be healthy or pretty or whatever the case is, it's very bombarding. And if you don't teach your kids about different things, they could fall subjective to that, especially if they have social media as they grow up, because everyone is being pushed out to be this one way. And there's just other things that I do not want my kids to bring home to themselves. And I mean home, I mean internally into them, like I did as a child. I want them to be able to have ice cream and not feel guilty. I want them to do all the things and not feel guilty. I want them to love their body regardless of what's going on in the moment. I want them to have the most self-confidence. I want them to be the most confident people in themselves, where people who try to say mean things as they're growing up or just in life, because even if you're an adult, people say mean things, especially in the workplace. I want them to be able to brush it off and just know who they are deep down, and I'm excited to be able to show them correctly. It is vital that we have a healthy relationship with our food, our eating, with everything being pushed out with restrictive diets and unrealistic body images. I really want to let them know at a young age, which hopefully I feel like I'm doing a good job, that they can take these small habits that I have tried to implement and letting them know about food into their older life as they grow up, and they just keep having that same healthy relationship. Let's talk about what diet culture actually is. It's not about the actual food we eat, but it's about the beliefs that is surrounded around what food is healthy or not healthy, and the behaviors that we exhibit within those beliefs. This culture is tied to appearance, and with that comes labeling food as good or bad. This can lead to disordered eating, body image issues, confidence issues, and mental health issues, because you're so focused on the appearance and what is good or bad. Research shows that children as young as 5 start to have these self-image issues, which is terrifying for me because I've been there, and I know that if you would have asked me at 5, I would have been part of that study. And 5 years old to have these self-image issues is actually crazy, because why are these babies having these issues. Like, that's not okay. And as mothers, it's so important to break the cycle. I am so deeply passionate about breaking this cycle. I need my kids to know that no matter what, their worth is not based on their appearance, and I will fight for that forever. One of the steps of combating the toxic diet culture is having them help you in the kitchen, teaching them about nutrition and not labeling it as good or bad. Let's focus on a healthy balance and variety of foods. Cooking together fosters a love for cooking, and my son loves to cook. He loves to bake. He loves to be in the kitchen with me, and it just helps him have his own relationship with food that he's preparing and he's making. He cuts his own fruit. When we do stuff together, he helps us bake. He eats the baked goods. He makes dinner with us. He is able to decipher. He doesn't know what's good or bad. He just knows he loves to cook and he loves to be involved, and that helps him actually eat better and more because he is a picky eater. We do have certain safe foods for him, and I love when he's able to help in the kitchen because he's more willing to actually try the new foods or the baked goods or new dinners, and it just allows him to explore and create a better, healthy relationship with food. It's not always about nourishment. It's also about connection. Obviously baked goods are not fully, I can't feed him baked goods every day. It's all about balance, like I said before, but the connection he has with the food and what we make is the perfect way to make sure that he's totally involved and knows what's going into his body. Language we use around food is very important. Kids pick up on it so quickly. Shouldn't eat that. I can't have that. That has too many calories. That's too high in fat. All of these things, they're clocking. No matter how young they are, they are hearing and they are realizing and they comprehend. We need to make sure we're not saying, I need to lose weight. I have to eat this to lose weight. I have to do this to keep thin. We should be talking about what nourishes our body, what we enjoy to eat, what helps us feel better. Let's focus on health and happiness, what makes you healthy, what makes you feel good, and what makes you happy. Also praise your children for the skills and kindness that they have, not their appearance. I will always tell my children they are beautiful, confident, and all of that, but also how kind they are as a human, how nice they are, how well they share, how well they talk to others, how well they talk to themselves. I will always praise that over everything else. This reinforces their self-worth beyond physical attributes. Use affirmations to help celebrate their kindness, abilities, and intelligence and creativity. This helps focus the shift on how they look to who they are as a person. Family gatherings and social situations can be so hard, and it's very hard to rock the boat when someone says something about your children. But as a mother, I don't care who you are. If you talk about my kids' weight, you talk about how big they gotten, or anything of their physical features, I'm going to go off on you, or we're just going to leave. I'm going to tell you once, and I'm going to set a boundary, and if you keep doing it, I'm either going to go off on you or we're going to leave and we're never going to come back. Because I'm not going to subject my kids to what I went through as a child, where every day I walked in the room and someone told me how fat I was. Or when you go shopping for school clothes and you get told, are you sure you don't want a bigger size? Very hard, and I will not put my kids through any of that like I went through. I will not deal with it. You are not going to talk their bodies, anything. You are not alone in this journey of trying to break cycles, be a generation breaker. You are not alone in this journey, because there's so many of us who grew up with toxic diet culture that are literally now in their 30s, late 20s, even late 30s, trying to break all of that. And I'm trying to do it before my kids get too old, so that way I don't have to go back and try to correct my words and my mistakes onto them. I want to make sure that I am the best person I am today, as far as food wise, talking about food, body confidence. I am so confident in who I am as a person. I need that to go to my children. I do not want them to ever doubt their self-worth based on their appearance, because I've done that my entire life, and we're stopping with me. My children, if every fiber in my body being, if I can get my children to not ever feel how I ever felt about myself growing up, that is my goal in life. If you need support, find people who are also trying to break generational curses or break through toxic diet cultures that we learned. There are so many moms who are trying to do this, so find a community, find someone who you can like vibe with and talk to, because it's hard, especially if you're doing it alone. If you don't have support from other family members, of you trying to stop or you trying to stand up for yourself, talk to people, find a community on Facebook, on TikTok, Instagram, wherever, friends in your life that may be doing it as well, and stick together and always have each other's back, and continuing doing the same practice you would do at home out with like other people's kids. Like, wow, you are so creative, you are so smart, you are so intelligent, look what you did. Like, that was so amazing. Like, find the group of people who you can break these cycles with, because doing it alone is hard. Not doing it alone, but I know people who are. My fiance is fully on board with everything that I'm talking about, and I'm just so grateful to have a partner to also support me and the kids and cut out all the toxic diet culture. Creating a home free of toxic diet culture is such a process. I have to, like, no matter how confident I am, it's grained in me to talk about it myself, to cry about foods that I ate, whatever the case is, because it's been ingrained in me since I was born, basically. And even though I'm working on it, it is a daily process, a daily work where I have to consciously make sure I don't say anything in front of my kids about my looks, how I feel. Like, I want to always be real with how I'm feeling. Like, maybe I could say, oh, I'm not feeling very confident today, but that's okay. Like, we all have off days, but I'm trying to never be like, oh, I'm too fat. Oh, I can't fit this. This is, like, I don't want any of those words. I grew up hearing those from a lot of people, and I just don't want the same for my children. By taking a balanced approach to like food, how we talk to ourselves, and how we model these behaviors, using positive language and words and just showing, we can create this environment where I hope that it lasts for my kids to keep going. Like, I hope that I am the generational curse breaker, and I hope that whatever I have done goes to their house when they're older and they have the same values, and we have finally broken the cycle. And I just pray, as much as I'm gonna, as a mother, I'm gonna try my hardest, but it's an everyday action, consciousness. We can raise children who appreciate their bodies and the food they eat, and let's be the change that we want to see, because I'm so passionate about this, because I've gone through it. I'm ready to hopefully be that breaker. If you found this video useful, or my experience, or whatever the case is, or if you've gone through the same thing, or you're trying to be a cycle breaker, comment down below. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you, or what you're trying to do, or what you've gone through. If you like this video and it has helped you in some way, subscribe, like. I would love for you to be here in our community. I do talk about many things. This is just one of them that I'm like super passionate about, especially with going through toxic diet culture my whole life. I'm really trying to cut it. And so I would just love for you guys to be here and share any of your knowledge, or maybe some more things I can do that I didn't mention that maybe I can implement. I would love to that. But thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you guys next video. Thank you so much. Bye.